Buckets. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Ian, I want to say something maybe a little bit controversial to start off the show. I feel like I am happier as a soccer fan now that Bayern Munich is out of Champions League. I know I wanted them to win it all. I know it's my team, but the stress is gone. I can bet freely. I can have fun, Ian. It's the first time I've had fun betting on Champions League in a while. And I'm excited for today.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well, but let me just add that you say something controversial almost every single episode of Stoppage Time. So I doubt today will be any different. For everybody out there, thank you so much for joining in the club. The FC Stoppage Time newsletter, fcstoppagetime.com is active. It is live. We're over 600 subscribers now, Bucket. 600 subscribers to a newsletter that gets dropped in your inbox almost every single day from producer Jeff, which is just amazing. Some of the content he's producing, some of the things we're putting into the newsletter. Of course, there's all of your betting. There's a lot of my analysis coming down from CBS Sports Galazzo Network. Obviously, my show Scoreline. You can go check that out, 5 p.m. Eastern almost every single night. It's pretty amazing to see how far we have come. We are now into the newsletter stage where people are getting exactly what they want right in their inbox.
It's absolutely perfect. And Jeff has been killing it time and time again. Every newsletter is better than the last. And I'll give Jeff a moment to brag here. He can throw some stats, some units, some whatever he wants to do. We've been on a heater on the newsletter the past couple weeks. So now is the time to jump in because it's all free for now. And you can get these best bets day after day after day. Jeff, props to you, brother.
Let's get to 1,000. That's the goal right here. We've got to 600 pretty quickly. It's a couple of weeks. And if we can get to 1,000, I'll be very, very happy indeed. I feel like maybe it's giveaway time if we get to 1,000. Buckets, on today's show, we got a Champions League semi-final first leg special edition. Of course, this is for the betting lovers out there. Yes, that is right. We are going to focus specifically on betting for John Bucketimer and the loyal listeners out there. Every game will be tackled by myself and Buckets. There's not many left now, Buckets, because the Champions League is coming to the important stage. Let's have a look at the bracket right now. Arsenal taking on Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona taking on Inter. And if you look at the fixtures, of course, Tuesday, April 29th is your first game. And then, of course, Tuesday, May 6th will be the second legs taking place. But I'm really looking forward to Buckets. Your initial impression, obviously, this is the final four before we get into the futures. Your thoughts on the fixtures ahead and how we got here?
It's pretty crazy how we got here because we're missing so many big names that we're just used to seeing at this stage. We've got no Real Madrid. We've got no Manchester City. We've got no one from the Bundesliga at all. So it's been a pretty crazy road to get here, bit of a roller coaster of emotions. But Ian, I see one clear favorite that I think is driving through no problem in these Final Fours.
Okay, speaking of favorites, let's have a look at the futures right now. There are plus numbers across the board, and these are pretty healthy plus numbers. Your thoughts on this? Barcelona plus 200 as a favorite right now. PSG not far behind at plus 220.
It's very interesting. I'm obviously on Barcelona. I think Hansi Flick is doing a tremendous job, and no one is capable of stopping the attack from Barcelona. But Arsenal in this first leg are pretty healthy favorites against PSG. However, to be the winner, they're behind them. So kind of interesting. We're getting different numbers there. I think the only way you bet this right now is Barcelona. They win and clear this easily, in my opinion.
Can I just say how amazing it is that things change so quickly? If you look at these odds right now, Barcelona being plus 200, of course, they just went past Real Madrid and El Clasico in the final, controversial. I did a piece. If you've got the newsletter, you've seen that piece on CBS Sports Galazzo Network on my show, Scoreline. Go check it out on YouTube. It's at like 220,000 views, which is amazing to the production team and the people who were involved in that segment. 220,000 views on a YouTube clip talking about Real Madrid and how shit they have been recently, but how good Barcelona have been. They, to me, are the favorite right now, Barcelona. But PSG still, for some reason, I still think PSG are going to win this one. But it's amazing how quickly things can change, Buckets. Because at one point I was saying to you, Inter, dark horse to get to the final. Remember those plus numbers I was talking about months ago just to get to the final? Now they've got a possibility of getting to the final. Inter have been poor. This past weekend, another disappointing defeat. They're now behind in the chase for this Scudetto in Serie A. Things change very quickly in this business.
Yeah, it's very tricky to bet futures. And this is one of the reasons why is Inter can look incredible one week and then absolutely devastating the next. We've got PSG, who's looked incredible all season long, getting trounced, I think is a word, by Nice over the weekend in a Ligue 1 fixture. It's just hard to do futures. But what I will say is if you go back 4 or 5, 6 episodes ago, IPJ has preached both the word of PSG and Inter back from the group stages. So to see them both in the semifinals, that's pretty impressive to me.
Now, top goal scorer. This is interesting, okay? Because the man who's leading the way right now is no longer in the tournament. He is out of the tournament. So you've got Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski, who's injured and looks like he might miss about 2 or 3 weeks. So he might miss both of the semi-final games. Just going to say that he might not move any further. Of course, Harry Kane, bye-bye to you as well. Lautaro Martinez looks like he's not going to get anywhere near 13 with the way that he's playing right now. So there is a big opportunity for Rafinha, of course, to jump ahead. And then there's an opportunity for Djurgården, who is on 13 out of the tournament, who could potentially win it. So here's the odds right now. Rafinha is the favorite because he's still in it at plus 110. But is there a way that people should or should not play Serhu Djurgården at plus 160? He's leading right now, remember?
He is leading right now. And I will say the way you can justify that is how good in Champions League Inter Milan's defense has been. Maybe it's going to be tricky for Rafinha to score, but then you look at their recent form, and I feel like I could score against this inner side. So I'm betting Rafinha. I like him at plus 110. He's also the only guy in the top 5 who has not scored a penalty kick. He's scoring all these goals from free plays right now. Ian, I love him at minus 110. If he was minus 130, I'd still probably play him right now.
Robert Lewandowski injured. Do you stay away from that now until he gets back?
I do, because he's injured and they still haven't really needed him while he's been injured. I mean, they just won the Copa del Rey final El Clasico without Lewandowski. This is a team that is so vicious, even without their number 9. I'm staying off him until he's back.
You know it would be an episode of Stoppage Time if we didn't get you best bets from our betting expert. That is, of course, John Bucketsheimer, our betting expert, the betting unicorn, the blonde bombshell, the main man, John Bucketsheimer. The Champions League is back. Buckets from you. I'm looking at 2 games, 2 best bets. We've got 60 seconds to hit each bet. Feel free to take your time here because I'm not going to interfere too much with your plays here. I feel like these ones are so difficult to predict that I want to preach betting responsibly to everybody out there because in any of these games, anything can happen. Buckets, preach quickly before we get into the bets.
Yeah, you have to be extremely careful. And as always, remember, this is a 2-legged tie. So Arsenal is the favorite at home in the first leg. PSG is going to be the favorite at home in the second leg. Be very careful, bet responsibly, and have fun. It's the the semifinals in Champions League. The best of the best playing. Let's just enjoy what this has to offer.
Buckets, it's time. All right, let's get into it because the first game we're going to go to is the main one. Arsenal against PSG. Buckets, take it away.
This is such a tricky matchup because I personally have been doubting Arsenal time after time after time, and they keep proving me wrong every single week. I think with all my heart, I truly believe PSG are the better side. But then you look at the recent form in league play, a 3-1 loss to Nice, a 1-1 draw to Nantes, and they conceded to Le Havre. This team is not playing in league play how they should be. And frankly, maybe that doesn't matter because they've already won the league, but I am still going to back PSG even in poor league form right now because I think they're the better side. I think Ousmane Dembele is one of the scariest strikers in all of Europe, and the supporting cast he has in the midfield is incredible right now. I don't know if PSG win, Ian, but PSG double chance is playable. Win or draw at minus 135. That's where I'm putting my money. They're at least getting the draw here.
Ousmane Dembele, 2+ shots on target, plus 245. Let's go to Barcelona against Inter Milan. No Lewandowski, but Barcelona look pretty confident.
Yeah, Barcelona look incredible. And Inter Milan just does not have the defensive wits about them right now to stop Barcelona from scoring because nobody in Europe does right now. I know that we've already talked about Lewandowski will probably not be present. That just doesn't matter. And I found a line that is frankly insulting to how good Rafinha has been playing. Not only do I think Rafinha is going to score here, but Rafinha to score or assist is plus money. He has 12 goals in Champions League and 7 assists in Champions League. That number doesn't make sense. If this was minus 200, Ian, I'd say take it as a parlay piece. He is that good. He is that in form. And if Lewandowski is not going to be available, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Rafinha's shoulders to keep doing what he's been doing. To score or assist at 120 is by far my favorite bet of the entire slate.
Lamine Yamal plus 140 to score or assist. These numbers are insane. Bet responsibly. So there you have it, Buckets. That's the Champions League absolutely wrapped up right there. Let's just go through our predictions as to how we think these games are going to be played out. Obviously, know that Lewandowski is going to be very important for Barcelona. I think Ferran Torres will step up there. Anytime goal score for him, I think it's sitting around plus 130 at this moment in time. And he, in my personal opinion, is someone you've got to be very worried about. Very good job for him in Copa del Rey as they went on to win it. But this is a big game for them. Obviously, Barcelona are a team that I think should get the job done against Inter, especially home, and I think you probably have to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you absolutely. And I think that honestly, in this two-legged tie with Barcelona and Inter, it's going to be over in the first leg. I don't have Barcelona winning. I have them smashing Inter at home.
Yeah, recent results. Obviously, they did play in the Champions League back in 2022. Barcelona 3, Inter 3. That was a crazy result. Inter won 1-0 at home in the Champions League in 2022 as well. Barcelona won in 2019 when they also played in the group stage. 2-1 Barca away victory, 2-1 at home. So it's very much even. And Inter are still a dangerous side, whether people like it or not. Defensively, the best team in the Champions League. They were outstanding through the group stages. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, no doubt. Arsenal against PSG, I find it much more difficult to predict. I'm leaning PSG. And in many ways, I think over the two ties, I think Paris Saint-Germain score 5 goals against Arsenal over 2 games. I'm just throwing it out there. I know Arsenal are great defensively, but I just don't think you can stop PSG when they get going.
I agree. We're on the same page in this one. It's one of those tricky matchups where if you told me this ended 0-0, or if you told me it ended 4-3, I wouldn't be shocked by either result. But I do see goals in this first leg because Arsenal in Champions League has been very goal heavy. I'm looking at a 2-2 draw, maybe a 3-2. I think we see a lot of goals in this first leg.
Yeah, let's hope so as well. It looks like Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, Rice, Marino, Odegaard will be attacking for Arsenal, which will be dangerous. On the opposition, it will be Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué, Ruiz, Vitinha, Neves in that midfield. I think it might come down to set plays. Obviously, we saw how dangerous Declan Rice with his couple of goals, 2 banger free kicks against Real Madrid to take them through in that first leg against Real Madrid, obviously at home. Raya was excellent on the day as well. I think this might come down to the goalkeepers, right? Donnarumma so far this season, he's had 4 clean sheets from 23 appearances in Liga. That's not great. 4 clean sheets from 23 is not fantastic. So PSG very offensive minded, which is where obviously you can see Arsenal punish. David Raya has got 12 clean sheets from 34 appearances in the Premier League so far this season. So let's get your scoreline predictions from both games. We'll go with Arsenal PSG.
I'm going to go for something crazy here. I'm going to say 3-2 PSG.
I was thinking 2-1. I think Arsenal get a goal at home. I don't see them not scoring, but I just don't think you stop PSG scoring at least 2. So I'm saying 5 goals over the 2 ties, which would lead me to see that PSG get 3 goals in the home fixture. But I think Arsenal do get 1 goal, maybe in both ties as well. So I can see a 5-2 result on aggregate. Barcelona in the first leg against Inter.
Let's go something crazy here. I think Barcelona shock the world. I'm going for a 4-1 victory for Barcelona at home. 4 goals in the first leg.
I don't know if Inter get a goal. Inter's last 3 results, they lost to Roma at the weekend, obviously giving up the opportunity to be in lead at the Scudetto in Serie A. They lost 3-0 to AC Milan in Coppa Italia, giving up the opportunity to win another trophy. They lost 1-0 at Bologna, so 3 games, no goals. So I find it hard to say that they're going to go to Barcelona and score a goal. The only thing that I say might punish Barca is that high line that they play. Maybe you get him behind and you sneak maybe a Marcus Thuram or a Lautaro Martinez, who's not the quickest, by the way, to get him behind. Maybe it's the wider players who actually do get forward. Di Marco on one side, obviously he would be the one that I would be worried about. But I don't know if Inter get a goal in this game. And I'm thinking that even without Lewandowski, Barca score 3. I'm going for a 3-0 win. I don't think Inter score again. Bet responsibly, everybody. Let's go to the Europa League. Yes, baby. Thursdays are awesome. We love Thursdays on Stoppage Time. Have a looking at the bracket right now. Tottenham against Bodo Glimt, our favorite team on the network. And of course, Athletic Club will take on Manchester United. The final will take place at San Mamés, which is Athletic Club's stadium, Bilbao. Buckets, just initially as you look at this, your thoughts on the 4 teams who are left standing?
My thoughts are that in both legs, there is a clear and obvious favorite, but I'm hoping that all teams can keep this competitive and keep it to a fun semifinal. Tottenham has the talent that they should blow Bodo Glimt out of the water, but we are all Bodo fans here. We know that's not going to happen. And Ian, out of respect for you, I'm not going to say too much about this Man United match.
There isn't anything that you can say that hasn't already been said to me about Manchester United right now. Okay, so Athletic Club take Manchester United on Thursday. Tottenham take a home game, obviously, against Bodo Glimt, which will be an interesting one for them in that first fixture. The away games, the second legs, will take place on Thursday, May 8th. It's Bodo Glimt at home to Tottenham, something to look forward to. No longer cold as fuck there, so it's maybe an advantage for Tottenham. And then Manchester United will be at home in the second leg. Remember, the final is at San Mamés. The futures right now, Buckets, I have no idea where to go. Where are you going?
I think I'm going Athletic Athletic Club Bilbao. We have talked about before how the final will be played there. They get that fun home field advantage that means so much. And Tottenham being at plus 150, I genuinely don't know if they get past Bodo. So I'm staying the hell away from that. Maybe even sprinkle Bodo, because if they make it to the semifinal, you got a good hedge, you got a good cash out here. But Athletic Club should be the favorite, and I'm shocked that they're not.
I'm just going to throw it out here. Tottenham lost 19 games in the Premier League this season. 19 games this season. And they were terrible against Liverpool. They made 8 changes to their lineup, but obviously going up against Bodo Glimt, anything can happen. Is there any way? I mean, how do we figure a way out? Bodo Glimt are a good team. We clearly know that one. But how do we put money on Bodo Glimt? Like, how do we play it between the first leg, the second leg, and the final, the futures? Like, is there any way we can have some fun with our listeners out there, obviously from Norway, who enjoy listening to this content?
The best way I could think to play this is you put a sprinkle, maybe like a quarter or a half unit on Bodo Glimt to win it all at plus 1200. And then if they score first against Tottenham in this first leg, you will have a positive cash out option. Or even if they lose this first leg by 1 goal or less, you're still going to have a cash out, because the books are saying right now that Spurs should beat them by 2 or 3 goals. I do not think that happens. And that's how you're going to be able to hedge this in the future if we get a close first leg.
It's pretty crazy when you look at what's happening in the Europa League so far. Obviously, at home, they're very, very dangerous. They lost 1 of 4 in the group stages. They won 3. They scored 9, conceded 6. The away from home have been much more difficult, but only lost 1 as well. Very good from open play, 16 goals from open play. Set pieces, 6 goals from set pieces. I mean, they're a dangerous team. They've obviously benefited from 3 own goals as well. The outstanding players, Patrick Berg, Hakon Eilen, hopefully I've pronounced his name correctly. Jens Peter Hauge, seen his name before, obviously in the Bundesliga. Kasper Wartzhau. I hope I'm saying these names correctly, but these are tremendous names who are associated with a fantastic club that we are so supportive, and we hope that they make it all the way to the final. I would love to see the underdog story going on, and I'm hoping when we get into these plays buckets that you're supporting the Bodo boys along the way. Let's get into it. 2 games, 2 best bets. We've got 60 seconds to hit each game before we move on to the next one. Buckets, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Producer Jeff, roll that clock. Athletic Club against Manchester United. Take it away.
Well, there's nothing to be said about Manchester United, as Ian mentioned, that hasn't already been said. Ian, I love and respect you, but my God, is Manchester United embarrassing this season. I can't trust them with my money, and I'm telling everybody right now, you should not trust them with their money either. I think Athletic Club win this game, and not only do I think they win this game, but I think they're scoring multiple goals. So the fact that I can get Bilbao over 1.5 team total at plus odds, plus 110 for Athletics Club to score 2 or more against a Manchester United side that doesn't look like they know how to play defense anymore. Ian, I'm sorry, but that feels like free money to me, but bet responsibly.
Yeah, I'm going to say bet responsibly. No Oyhan Sanset for Athletic Club in this game. He looks like he's going to be missing out there. Manchester United is still Manchester United. I'm going to throw it out there to everybody. I understand that they are not a favourite in this game, but United are dangerous, and United will create chances. Watch out for Bruno Fernandes across the board. Yeah. He's going to be a danger. All right, let's go to Tottenham against Bodo Glimt. The Bodo boys are back, buckets. Where you going?
Oh, I love me some Bodo boys here. Let's talk about how good Bodo has been, not necessarily at winning, but at least scoring a goal. Right now, across competitive competitions, Bodo Glimt has scored in 27 matches straight and across all competitions. This might not be a team that is good enough to beat Spurs. Frankly, I think they might be, but they're sure as hell is good enough, even on the road, to get a single goal here. And Tottenham are going to be tired after that spanking they took from Liverpool over the weekend. I think we have a competitive game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the books think it is. But frankly, I think that both teams to score at minus 110 is insulting, because that is the book's way of saying that they do not think Bodo Glimt are going to score. They're going to score at least 1 here. And I'm going to sprinkle Bodo over 1.5 team total at plus 300 as well, because frankly, they're good enough to score 2 or 3.
Kasper Wartzhau. 1+ shot on target, minus 105. Buckets, I got to go for it. I mean, plus, it's not plus numbers, but 1+ shot, minus 105. Kasper Ho, he's got 4 goals this season from 4 games in Eliteserien. I mean, they're a dangerous team, and they create a ton of chances. And I think that how vulnerable Spurs are, they might score 2 goals in the day. How crazy is that? They might get 2 goals against Spurs. Like, we're talking about a team from Norway, potentially Tottenham Hotspur. But that's how shit Spurs have been this season. It's crazy. Score predictions, Athletic Club against Manchester United.
I'm going to go, I do think they score. It's probably going to be Bruno Fernandes. I'm going 2-1 Athletic Club.
Ooh. Okay, you hurt me a little bit. I'm going to go a scoring draw, 2-2 in the first leg.
Okay.
The way going to be interesting. I think here's how I think this plays out. Athletic Club go through. Athletic Club 2-2 at home, and they go through an extra time or penalty kicks at Old Trafford, and the story is done. United don't deserve what they've had so far this season. Being in a European trophy would be amazing, and they need to be. And listen, if they win the Europa League, they get into the Champions League. How crazy is that? You can finish in the bottom half of the table in the Premier League, win the Europa League, and be in the Champions League next season. So everything to play for Manchester United, but clearly not a favourite for me. No hand set makes it difficult. I don't know. I find it hard to say Manchester United will go out, but I favour Athletic Club. Let's go to Tottenham against Bodo Glimt. What you got?
I've got Bodo getting the draw here. I'm looking at a 2-2 draw. I see goals from both sides, but I just can't trust Spurs enough to bet them to win against anyone.
All right, I'm going to go Tottenham to get the win at home. 3-2. I think Bodo get 2 goals in this game. And I think they score the first fucking goal. Like, that's where I'm going in this game. Go on, Bodo. We support you. All right, bet responsibly, everybody. Are you ready to go and do some more?
Whew, let's try. Let's do it.
Normally, we like to cut the show off from here, but there's another competition that takes place. I think the name's called Conference League. There it is right there. Let's go to the UEFA Conference League buckets and have a look at who's remaining in the competition. Djurgården against Chelsea. The Chelsea Blues are in there. Real Betis against Fiorentina is a cracking game, by the way. Your thoughts on the teams who are left standing?
My thoughts are that we have one really, really good, competitive, probably high-scoring matchup, and then we've got one with Chelsea in it. So I'm not really sure how to bet all of these. I'm going to do my best, but it's very tricky because even with Chelsea being in a semifinal, they might rotate their squad here. They're playing Djurgården right now. They should win this easily with their backup, so it could be tough to bet on.
It is really tough to bet on because we don't watch many of these games. I unfortunately have to cover a lot of these games. And even on Golazo Network, we don't necessarily cover all of these games. However, the 4 teams that are left standing are pretty big teams and well-supported teams as well. Real Betis have been excellent this season, obviously, with the addition of Cucho Hernandez from Columbus Crew. And they've also brought in Anthony, who's been excellent for them. Isco, the main man, captain now, obviously, for them. Fantastic. Fiorentina have been fantastic. Moise Kean recently missing out for family reasons to domestic games. Hopefully, he'll be back for them against Real Betis. And Chelsea, I would imagine, buckets, if you look at the futures right now, are a clear favorite. Minus 225. Do you back that?
I back them to get to the finals, sure, but I don't know if they win it all. They're pretty distracted right now with a top 5 race in the EPL, trying to make sure they guarantee that Champions League spot. I think Real Betis or Fiorentina, whatever side you think wins that matchup, is definitely worth a play right now.
I'm going Fiorentina to win the whole thing.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Why not? I'm going Fiorentina to win the whole thing. Fiorentina with Moise Kean, I think they're such a dangerous team and obviously entertaining. All right, 2 games, 2 best bets. We got 60 seconds to hit each game before we move on to the next one. Good luck, buckets. Good luck, loyal listeners out there. All right, let's get into it. Djurgården versus Chelsea, buckets. This one is a difficult one to predict. And as we mentioned already before, Chelsea are clear favourites to win the whole thing. So surely you have them as a favourite to go through in this tie.
I do, but for the love of everything that is holy, please bet responsibly on this matchup and probably wait for lineups right now because we have absolutely no idea if Chelsea are going to take this seriously enough to give their best starting 11, or maybe they rest. Maybe they focus on that second leg. Maybe they focus on Premier League play. It's a very difficult matchup to bet on because Djurgården has to make something happen in this home leg if they want to advance. And we don't know what Chelsea's going to put out there. But what I will say is that I'm expecting absolute chaos in this first leg. Djurgården's going to be going for goals. They're going to try to make something happen. And Chelsea, even if they play their backups, are good enough to score here. I'm expecting early goals, and I'm expecting over 1.5 goals in the first half, currently priced at minus 125.
Both teams to score, minus 110. I love the buzzer. The buzzer's my favorite. Real Betis against Fiorentina, buckets. Not easy to predict. Probably one of the most entertaining games we're expecting across the whole of this UEFA week. Where are you going?
Yeah, and the fact that we're getting that in Conference League makes me so happy because we're getting some good matches still across every single day. When I'm looking at this matchup, I'm expecting goals, and frankly, I cannot pick a winner between these two. We've got 2 very good attacking, 2 very good fundamental teams, 2 teams that probably shouldn't be in the Conference Cup, but yet here they are. I'm going with both teams to score at minus 120. Real Betis has hit that in 7 of their last 8 fixtures across all competitions, while Fiorentina has hit it in 4 of their last 5. Both teams lack defensive prowess, but both teams have incredible attacking talent. I love BTTS here.
Buckets, any chance Fiorentina get a couple of goals in this game?
I think so. 2-2 wouldn't shock me.
Plus 240, thoughts?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm taking it.
Man, if Moise Kean is playing, it could be very interesting. Look out for Anthony. Look out for Cucho Hernandez for Betis. There you have it, Buckets. Another UEFA episode is done and dusted. Producer Jeff has got some work to do to get this out to our episode, of course, loyal listening followers. But the newsletter will be very active as well. Buckets, everything good with you? Just checking in, making sure the home life's going well, love life's going well, Freya's going well. We haven't had an update recently. How you fucking doing, man?
We haven't had an update. If there's no update, it usually means good news. Freya is doing well. The love life is going well. The home life is going well. Jeff and I are working on a little bit of a secret project I'm excited to tell the viewers about in the upcoming future. But right now, I'm just grinding. You know me.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm going to ask you a personal question here, and feel free not to answer this one as well. Is this the longest relationship you have had with a female?
Second longest. I've had one very long one, and that's all I've really done in the dating world. So we're giving it a second shot here. It's going well.
I'm proud of you, brother. I'm happy things are going well in your life. I know you're working on some incredible projects. So the loyal listeners out there, keep an eye out on John Bucketimer. So is the Joy Boy, by the way. Very active, very busy. Of course, Stoppage Time is still going to be here. We're still going to be producing content as much as we possibly can. Producer Jeff, still for hire for everybody out there. If anybody's looking to try and hire a producer, or even if you're looking for YouTube content like ours on Stoppage Time, if you've got content you want out on social media, Producer Jeff can make magic happen, as you have seen with our show as well. So hire that man. But of course, Producer Jeff is also quite a busy man with his home life, and he does have some side projects of himself. But Buckets, it's going to be a great week. I'm looking forward to it. I want you to have a fantastic and hopefully successful betting week this week. I want you to bet responsibly because these UEFA weeks are so unpredictable. Where can people watch you this week throughout the week?
Oh, you can catch me on the early edge at 10 a.m. on the CBS YouTube channel. And you can also catch me I guess it won't matter, but on the afternoon on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on the CBS network covering Champions League and different European matches as well.
It does matter, okay? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Just say it anyway. You, of course, can watch me on CBS Sports Galazzo Network. Producer Jeff has told me that it is available for free on Pluto TV. So feel free, if you've got Pluto TV, to watch CBS Sports Galazzo Network. It is also free on CBSSports.com. If you have the CBS Sports app, you can watch it for free. It's right there. Go onto the app, find CBS Sports Galazzo Network. You can watch this face, 5 p.m. Eastern, almost every single night. After the Champions League, we will have our Champions Club show, and then Scoreline will be on. It will be myself and Adam Hunt on the Tuesday and Wednesday after the semi-final first legs. Of course, you can watch that. So make sure you tune in to everything we're doing around Galazzo Network. Buckets, appreciate you. Producer Jeff, I appreciate you. Everybody out there, bet responsibly. Make sure you absolutely have it, baby! Dying of thirst through that, by the way. At one point I was talking, I was like, I'm going to have to stop and take a drink.
Stoppage time.